off with a story, and while we're on this whole concept of kind of revealing how a magic trick is done, the story I'm about to tell you is going to slowly give away the secret of the trick. Now, this is a true story that I made about 50% of up. Okay, I can tell you right now, the person was a real person, the location was a real thing, and the situation was real, but you never let the truth get in the way of a good story. How many of you guys wear glasses or contact lenses? Just about all of you, okay. That was a stupid question. I don't, so. How many of you guys remember taking that eye test where they have you sit on the chair, you're going to cover up your eye, you read the smallest line on the board? You guys remember that? So, the guy that invented that, he was normal. There was a guy in New York City who invented another version of that. Now, this guy in New York City was a doctor. He was an eye doctor. And he had an office that was located on the corner of 33rd and 7th, right across the street from Madison Square Garden. And his office was the 3rd floor. On the 2nd floor, there was a party store, almost like Party City. And one day, he walks into his office, he finds this big box on the front door. And he walked in, he opens up the box, and it's a bunch of fake glasses, like plastic, prop glasses. And he's like, I can do something with this. So he did. So what he did is he created an eye test that tricked people into thinking that they needed glasses. Then he would sell these fake glasses to them, and then give them another test, like the regular test, and then they'd be able to see it. I'm like, oh my God, Jesus glasses. He's like, oh my God, suckers. But I happened to get my hands on this test, and I'm going to show you what it is. See, it's very simple, and it's so old it's still in black and white. One person, sweet. All right. I'm telling that joke for 20 years, never gets a laugh, but I like it. So, basically what the doctor did is he would sit the person down, about as far as you and I are. He would show them a board with 1 dot on this side, 4 dots on this side, 3 on this side, 6 on this side, and 1 on this side. Get it? Yeah, now you can understand why the lines were so long going around his building. Because no, let's face it, it's very weird to have a little board with 1 dot here, 4 here, 3 here, 6 here, and 1 here. And people eventually got to the point from seeing if they needed glasses to trying to figure out how the hell this guy did it. So then that's when it began. That's when the lines started forming. And nobody ever got it. Well, I can't say nobody. There was one guy. One guy from Chicago. He was a magician. Some people called him the best in the world at what he did. And this magician posed as a patient. He's like, oh, I got to take this test. I think my eyes are shot. And he goes into the doctor's office. He sits down and takes the test and figured out how it was done. So the doctor sat him down about as far as you and I are. And he showed him a board with 1 dot here, and 4 here, and 3 here, and 6 here, and 1 here. And the magician goes, nope, give me the board. I figured it out. And the doctor's like, huh? And the magician's like, I figured it out. I'm going to show you what you did. You see, this is all snake oil. This is all illusion. This is literally what I do. And the doctor's like, you didn't figure it out. And the magician's like, watch this. He's like, Doc, all you did is you created what's called an optical illusion. You see, an optical illusion is where you're tricking your brain into seeing something that's not really there. The magician's like, all right, this is what you did. You show people that there's 1 dot on this side, and they're like, ooh. Then you show people that there's 4 dots on this side, and they're like, ah. Then you show people that there's 3 dots on this side, and they're like, hoo-hoo. And then you show people that there's 6 dots on this side, and they're like, I need glasses. But what you don't show people, Doc, is that you really have 2 dots on this side and 5 dots on this side. I see some people nodding their head. You've seen this before. No. You must have went to the guy. I didn't expect that to get a laugh. So putting that in the list I can read to myself tonight. So anyway, so the doctor at this point, he's a little baffled. Like, nobody's ever figured this out before. And the magician's like, oh, I'm not done, buddy. I'm not done. It's like, I'm going to show you what you did. You see, all it is creating an optical illusion by covering certain sides of the board and telling people what you want them to see or think. Kind of like TV. All you're doing is you're covering up a dot with your hand or an empty space with your hand. And the mind subconsciously believes what it's seeing. For example, see this dot right here? This is where I'm talking to you, by the way. See this dot right here? See how I cover it up and there's only 1 dot on the side of the board? It's because you don't know that there's 2. Now you do, so it makes a whole big difference. And as you can imagine, the doctor's like freaking out. So the magician's like, Doc, all you're doing is you cover up this dot. It looks like there's 1 when there's really 2. You cover up this dot right here. You tell people that there's 4. They're going to think that there's 4 when there's really 5. You cover up the empty space right here. This is where it gets confusing because the people don't realize that there's not a dot there. They think that you're just covering up a dot with your hand, when there's really two. Same thing here, this empty space right here, it's just an empty space, but if you tell people that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dots, they're going to think that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dots. Prime example. Well, at this point, as you can imagine, this doctor retired, dropped his business, went out into the cornfields, and the magician took the board. And he decided, you know what, I'm going to sell it. I'm going to make some money off of this. And he sold it. And I got my hands on it. And now I open up my shows with the trick with 1 dot here, and 4 here, and 3 here, and 6 here, and 1 here. And there's a problem, though. This thing I can't understand. Because I'll show people, oh, look, there's 1 dot here. And people go, wow. And see, there you go. It's pretty hard. Can you believe this? It's like I'm talking to myself right now. Yeah. And then I show 4 dots here, and people are like, ooh. And then I show 3 dots here, and people are like, let's see. But the problem is 3 dots actually show up. And then I show 6 dots here, and people are like, huh? And then I'm like, yeah, because 6 dots are actually here. It's crisp, but thank you. Hold on. Because this is where the problem lies. I have a feeling that this doctor was a lot smarter than he played himself out to be. I have a feeling that this doctor knew that somebody was going to eventually figure this trick out. I have a feeling that this doctor planned to have this trick released to the market so that dumbasses like me can go on stage and perform them. And I think that because to this day I still don't know where the hell these come from. Thank you. So how about that interaction, huh? You guys like card tricks?